Hey y'all, this is Ninja DC. Hey, this is supposed to be my show now. Fine. Hello y'all, it's Moonjep this time around, giving you my not too standard thoughts on 2 episodes this week. At least I hope they're not too standard. The writing better be good. Speaking of boring, let's talk about Cart Before the Ponies. First, let me just say this episode is not bad, just sort of a lot of meh. I'm struggling to think of a more fillery episode since, well, any time in this series. I mean, I used to use a bird and hoof as my forgettable episode example, but this episode is far more meh and forgettable. But again, it's not necessarily bad. It's got a decent structure, save its Return of the King style fake endings.
Derby racers to the starting line! This is the most relaxed I've been all day.
That said, I did actually enjoy the reasons why the big sisters went crazy. Rainbow was obsessed with winning, as always. AJ was obsessed with tradition, as always. And Rarity is obsessed with rarity, as always. This was very in character and overall believable in terms of, well, what caused them to sort of behave like that. And I also like how the CMC decided to break their own stereotypes and sort of contrast to this and to explore different things. This is a very kids thing to do to sort of, try different things. Also, I'll take any nostalgia for Super Mario Kart that I can get, which that soundtrack definitely gave me nostalgia for. That said, the episode was, as I noted, meh. On top of being the most kiddie episode in, well, I think the series, it's just in general felt very childish, and I know I'm not the only one to think this after our reaction video. Not to mention some continuity flubs like,
Well, why didn't you say anything?
seriously, they were very directly telling you they did not want that.
About that, I was really thinking of going for the most creative prize.
Now on to our second episode in this review, 28 Pranks Later. Something that took Ninja far too long to get the reference to. Hey, this episode is actually really easy to summarize. It's a fusion of Mysterious Mare-de-Well and Scaremaster, with its quality being in between of that. What I mean is, it fixes most of Mysterious Mare-de-Well's flaws, namely the main six not directly confronting Rainbow with her problem, which they do this time around, with Fluttershy apparently learning from Harry how to give the Ileana Mormont give no bucks face. That, and it is clearly shown that Rainbow is going way too far with her pranks. Not to mention 28 turned into a surprise Pinkie episode for Pinkie fans, because he's really having almost as few episodes this season as Fluttershy, which is saying a lot. That said, I feel this episode plays it way too safe. Yes, MLP is doing a zombie episode, which is great, but said zombies are limited to desaturated ponies with rainbow drool, who want cookies. Contrast that with Scaremaster, which had like this.
Granny?
Heck, just look at Rainbow's reaction to both for a good comparison. Not to mention, this episode suffered from a common problem in these group conspiracy episodes for pretty much whatever show, with characters acting when they don't need to be, in this case, when Rainbow is not there. That's just sort of lazy writing. What I mean is, they all are clearly in on this by this point, yet they sort of are acting like characters who are not. How it should have been handled better is just to cleverly not show their perspective, to be sort of sneaky about their perspective on it, or to use a lot of double entendres, which they sort of do better in the later, well, very late part of the episode, but yeah, scenes like this just make no sense.
Come on, you heard her! Every house in Ponyville!
Now both episodes were a little disappointing, though for different reasons. Carts was more just a general meh, but 28 was just a sort of a big letdown by playing it too safe with its subject material. That said, 28 is still a stronger episode by having character development for Dash and showing also development for the main six. Actually them confronting Dash about her problem this time about. That said, they both seem to play into Season 6's episode formula, where Season 6 has 2 to 4 meh episodes, followed by or preceded by a good or great one. Those meh episodes are not bad, but seem to take a Disney live-action movie route of targeting a universal not bad from every demographic instead of directly targeting a great or good film. See Star Wars Episode 7 for a good example of this. Add to this my general feeling that Season 6 really ain't pushing the envelope with epic moments like previous seasons. Stuff like Slice of Life or Flutterbat or the CMC getting their cutie marks. Those ones that just make you stop and say, wow, I can't believe they did that, or in the case of the CMC, that they finally did that. This season just doesn't feel like it has that many moments, if really any at all. Just a lot of safe and, well, just a lot of safe episodes. So yeah, those are my thoughts on Carts and 28 Pranks Later. The two meh episodes after the good or great Stranger Than Fanfiction episode. Not bad, but too safe to really be memorable. But those are just my thoughts. Feel free to leave yours below.